Heyo everybody, Sharktastic here. This is the first video of this little something I'd like to call an OC talk and draw, where I will talk about my characters, one of my many characters, while also showing a little speed draw of said character in question so you know who it is I am talking about. This is just a little fun thing for me to share my different characters and their stories, personalities, because I have way too many and not enough time to make little comic stories about all of them, as I'm still working on my first one. So I hope this will be entertaining for ya. For this first video, it's actually going to be a group of characters. I will probably just do single ones for future stuff, but this one will be about Malachi and his posse. So let's start off with the main man, Malachi himself. So he is a Cupid. You might be a little bit more familiar with the Cupids of my little megaverse, as I would say, if you have read For the Love of Heaven and Hell, my little comic. But anyways, he is a Cupid that abandoned the whole heaven thing, and so he lives on Earth trying to do, Cupid work in a way that he thinks is a bit more efficient. He didn't really seem to like the whole discreet way of trying to help people find love. Like, if you've ever watched, like, a show and you know that the two main characters like each other, and you just want to scream and tell them, hey, this person likes you when you like them. Well, Malachi's in a similar situation. The Cupids can see when someone likes a person, and if that person is close by, they can see who that is that likes you. And so if they like you back, they can also see that. And they also have a little bit of inside information to try to help you find your soulmate, yada yada. And so he didn't like the idea of, trying to just push people towards each other without direct contact, so he decided he would be a matchmaker on Earth and not, be invisible on the sidelines. But as he's living on Earth, he does need to make a living on Earth. As he abandoned heaven, he does not get paid for any of the stuff that he does now. So at first, this little klutz tried getting all these different jobs. He tried working as a waiter once. A moment of silence for all the food and dishes that were broken or lost in that process. Okay then, so on to other things. So he eventually ended up getting a job, like similar to, those cute little earring jewelry places. He actually took a really good liking to that job, and the very, very patient people that worked there were able to help him, work. So, and they eventually taught him some weird unwork-related things like palm reading, tarot cards, and he was really enjoying that. And he also helped his gal pals at the workplace find their own soulmates, and slowly started doing these little matchmaking videos, makeup tutorials, and things like that. And he slowly ended up getting a bit of an internet following and ended up along the lines at some point becoming an influencer. And then in comes the Incubus and Succubus siblings, Tristan and Ivy. The two of them are a bit more mischievous, and they saw this interesting way that Malachi was going about doing his work, being a lot more in the public than being invisible to human eyes. He's just out there prancing around being like, haha, I'm a matchmaker, and he has the whole quote-unquote Cupid gimmick, but it's not really a gimmick. And they thought it would be pretty funny to get on the work as well, so they ended up making friends with him, and they participate in his videos. Sometimes they help people get ready for their dates, different things like that. And they're just were this little trio for a while. And then as they got a bit more popular, as people get a lot more popular, sometimes they tend to attract a very unwanted attention. And thus, Malachi was looking for a bodyguard, searching Vincent the Hunter Demon. So, Vincent is actually really on the small side, especially for a hunter. So, hunters in my universe, hunter demons from my universe, they usually keep track of warped spirits, which are spirits that try to eat other spirits so that they can survive and don't have to quote unquote move on. And as they are devouring other souls, this is not a good thing. So hunters usually have to destroy them, and the more souls that they eat, the more dangerous they become. So hunters were created to deal with these, and Vincent, being a little tiny guy, he wasn't really liking his odds with these more giant creatures. But unfortunately, unlike succubus and incubus, he cannot make himself look human, so there's not really much work that he could do on Earth. Well, I mean, he can't look human, so there wasn't really anything until Malachi stepped around and offered him this job. And since, you can't have some invisible force just fighting off stalkers, he's like, no, this is great. You can show yourself. You can be your demon self, but we're gonna pretend you're like an incubus or something, to go on with the whole Cupid gimmick that I've got going on. That way it won't be as weird, you walking around always looking like a demon. Because Malachi, he loves to walk around just showing his wings off all the time, so it wouldn't be that weird for Vincent to be looking how he is all of the time, along with Malachi and his beautiful wings. So they did a little tattoo around the tips of his tail too, so there's a little black on the edges to make it look a little bit more heart-shaped, because Vincent ain't gonna, commit enough to crop his tail to make it look like a heart. That's not happening. So Vincent's the little bodyguard of the whole troop, and even though he is teeny tiny, is the strongest out of all of them combined. So he's a bit more like the mom of the group. He looks after them. Tristan and Ivy are usually pulling pranks, and poor Vincent is trying to protect Malachi from not only, stalkers, crazy obsessed fans, dangerous people, but also from Tristan and Ivy's pranks. The poor guy really has his work cut out for him. And that is it for the rundown on the trio of influencers and their bodyguard. I hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry if there's any weird noises in there or any video problems, as this is my first video. Hopefully they will continue to get better, and if you have anything in mind that you think would be more entertaining that I could do for it, feel free to add it in the comments. Just any suggestions for what you think might make it more entertaining. Hopefully by each video the quality will get a little bit better. And if you're liking what you're hearing, I will be planning on doing more characters and things, and if you wanted to get to know a little bit more in-depth some characters, I do have a comic called For the Love of Heaven and Hell, And for those people that are actually a fan of and read that, I do plan on doing some little OC talk and draws for both Thacker and Iris. We got a little bit of a story background on Eartha and Damien, but I really thought it would be fun to do one for Thacker and Iris, as those two have quite a bit of history. Thanks for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye!